Shemoth, Exodus chapter 7. So Yahuah said to Moshe, "See, I have made you an Elohim to Pharaoh, and Aharon your brother is your Nebai. You shall speak all that I command you, and Aharon your brother shall speak to Pharaoh to let the children of Yisrael go out of his land. But I am going to harden the heart of Pharaoh, and shall increase my signs and wonders in the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh is not going to listen to you, and I shall lay my hand on Mitzrayim, and bring my divisions and my people, the children of Yisrael, out of the land of Mitzrayim by great judgments. And the Mitzrites shall know that I am Yahuah when I stretch out my hand on Mitzrayim, and I shall bring the children of Yisrael out from among them." And Moshe and Aharon did as Yahuah commanded them, so they did. Now Moshe was 80 years old, and Aharon 83 years old when they spoke to Pharaoh. And Yahuah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, "When Pharaoh speaks to you, saying, 'Show a miracle for yourselves,' then you shall say to Aharon, 'Take your rod and throw it before Pharaoh, and let it become a serpent.'" So Moshe and Aaron went in to Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahuah commanded. And Aharon threw his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. But Pharaoh also called the wise men and the practicers of witchcraft, and they, the magicians of Mitzrayim, also did so with their magic. And they each one threw down his rod, and they became serpents. But the rod of Aharon swallowed up their rods. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not listen to them as Yahuah had said. And Yahuah said to Moshe, "The heart of Pharaoh is hard. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he goes out to the water, and you shall stand by the river's bank to meet him, and take in your hand the rod which was turned into a serpent, and you shall say to him, 'Yahuah, the Elohim of the Ivrim, has sent me to you, saying, let my people go, so that they serve me in the wilderness. But see, until now you have not listened.' Thus said Yahuah, 'By this you know that I am Yahuah. See, I am striking the waters which are in the river with the rod that is in my hand, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Mitzrites shall find it impossible to drink the water of the river.' And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, "Say to Aharon, 'Take your rod and stretch out your hand over the waters of Mitzrayim, over their streams, over their rivers, over their ponds, and over all their pools of water, that they become blood. And there shall be blood in all the land of Mitzrayim, both in wooden and in stone containers.' And Moshe and Aaron did so as Yahuah commanded, and he lifted up the rod and struck the waters that were in the river in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that were in the river died, and the river stank, and the Mitzrites were unable to drink the water of the river. And the blood was in all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians of Mitzrayim did the same with their magic. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not listen to them as Yahuah had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, and his heart was not moved by this either. And all the Mitzrites dug all around the river for water to drink, for they were unable to drink the water of the river. And 7 days were completed after Yahuah had struck the river. Shemoth, Exodus chapter 8. And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, "Go to Pharaoh and say to him, Thus said Yahuah, let my people go, so that they serve me. But if you refuse to let them go, see, I am smiting all your border with frogs, and the river shall swarm with frogs, which shall go up and shall come into your house, and into your bedroom, and on your bed, and into the houses of your servants, and on your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading bowls. And the frogs shall come up on you, and on your people, and on all your servants. And Yahuah said to Moshe, say to Aharon, stretch out your hand with your rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up on the land of Mitzrayim. So Aharon stretched out his hand over the waters of Mitzrayim, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their magic, and brought up frogs on the land of Mitzrayim. Pharaoh then called Moshe and Aharon and said, pray to Yahuah to take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I shall let the people go to slaughter to Yahuah. And Moshe said to Pharaoh, explain yourself to me. When am I to pray for you, and for your servants, and for your people, to destroy the frogs from you and your houses, and remain only in the river? So he said, tomorrow. And he said, let it be according to your word, so that you know that there is no one like Yahuah, our Elohim. And the frogs shall turn aside from you, and from your houses, and from your servants, and from your people. They shall remain in the river only. And Moshe and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moshe cried out to Yahuah concerning the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And Yahuah did according to the word of Moshe, and the frogs died out of the houses, out of the courtyards, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together in heaps, and the land stank. And when Pharaoh saw that there was relief, he hardened his heart and did not listen to them, as Yahuah had said. And Yahuah said to Moshe, say to Aharon, stretch out your rod and strike the dust of the land, so that it becomes gnats in all the land of Mitzrayim. And they did so, and Aharon stretched out his hand with his rod and struck the dust of the earth, and it became gnats on man and beast. All the dust of the land became gnats in all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did similarly with their magic to bring forth gnats, but they were unable. And there were gnats on man and beast. The magicians then said to Pharaoh, this is the finger of Elohim. But the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not listen to them, as Yahuah had said. And Yahuah said to Moshe, rise early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh as he comes out to the water, and say to him, thus said Yahuah, let my people go, so that they serve me. Or else, if you do not let my people go, see, I am sending swarms of flies on you and your servants, and on your people, and into your houses. And the houses of the Mitzrites shall be filled with swarms of flies, and also the ground on which they stand. And in that day I shall separate the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, so that you know that I am Yahuah in the midst of the land. And I shall put a distinction between my people and your people. Tomorrow this sign shall be. And Yahuah did so, and thick swarms of flies came into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Mitzrayim. And the land was ruined because of the swarms of flies. Pharaoh then called for Moshe and Aharon and said, go, slaughter to your Elohim in the land. And Moshe said, it is not right to do so, for we would be slaughtering the abomination of the Mitzrites to Yahuah our Elohim. See, if we slaughter the abomination of the Mitzrites before their eyes, would they not stone us? Let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, then we shall slaughter to Yahuah our Elohim as he commands us. And Pharaoh said, I am letting you go, then you shall slaughter to Yahuah your Elohim in the wilderness, only do not go very far away, pray for me. And Moshe said, see, when I leave you, I shall pray to Yahuah, and tomorrow the swarms of flies shall depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. But do not let Pharaoh again deceive, not to let the people go to slaughter to Yahuah. And Moshe went out from Pharaoh and prayed to Yahuah. And Yahuah did according to the word of Moshe, and removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. Not one remained. But Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time too, and did not let the people go.